Guess what? Even though we changed a lot of things, Ted's still here, everybody. That's right. Producer Ted hasn't changed.
Same Ted.
Same Ted.
Yeah.
He got a haircut, though, I think.
We applied for Lasso, but he was available.
Welcome back. Last week, we saw the ladies of the Bachelorette sweat it out as they met their boyfriends' families. But this week, I know, audience, there's only so many things I can change in the new season. That's right. But this week, the tables were turned. With fantasy suites on the line, the men must prove they're ready for marriage and have no STDs. And for that, and for Tino, is that his name? Tino?
I don't know. I don't watch this crap.
And for Tino, he was feeling the heat. Look.
Just in general, I just have felt a lot of anxiety with just this week. And last time it just was such a rough week. Have been kind of wanting to talk about hometowns.
Okay.
And kind of what I spoke to your parents about a little bit. I just feel like they really just did not like me. And it was just a really big struggle for me, I think specifically with your dad. I know how much your family means to you. We've talked so much at length, you know, because I'm like, well, how is he gonna move forward when they don't like me and I can't convince anyone? I think the last thing your dad said to me, like one of the last things, he was like, well, like I'm not gonna disown him if he gets engaged, like I just can't accept it. And I was just like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Or like along those lines. And I was like, I desperately want this, like, not even just approval, but like, okay, we don't get it, but like, okay. And I feel like I didn't even get that. And I was like, well, I'm worried about you. Like, can you get to a point at the end where, like, even if you don't have their approval, you're still like, can you honestly like move forward with this?
I don't think we should continue. 8 years, this show hasn't gotten any better. Not this show, I mean, well, this show too, but yeah. Can Rachel move beyond Tino's demanding father? Will Gabby find the man she's looking for with fantasy suites on the line? Will that guy sweat again? Anything can happen, and that means, once again, it's time for 43% of America loves Ted. Joining us, new season, same Ted. That's right. Audience, give it up for Ted Johnson.
Thank you.
Ted, first of all, thank you for not sweating. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
You can just see that slowly dripping down his face and getting progressively worse.
Okay, so how many fantasy suites were there?
Well, so this is a 2-night event because we've got 2 bachelorettes and we think we have 3 each. So there are 6 in total.
Oh, that is disgusting.
A lot of fantasies.
Yeah. So, did Tino get a fantasy suite?
Tino did get a fantasy suite. So he made it through the sweat fest and he made it right into the fantasy suite.
Ew. Did he bathe first or did he just go in there sweaty?
Unclear because they have been showing a lot of like, they'll get him in the fantasy suite, they'll show them making out on the bed, but they didn't show that with Tino. Maybe because he was so sweaty.
Maybe.
He had to shower off.
Rachel, is it Avin, Ted? What's this person's name? Avin?
We don't know what his name is. Avin.
Okay.
He ain't going anywhere. This Avin guy, yeah, I mean, she really is all about Tino, I think. And this Avin guy, she's just here for the fun. But I will say this. They have the women have 2 different strategies. Rachel is all about telling them she loves them. So Avin got an I love you, Tino got an I love you, the other guy got an I love you, and Gabby, on the other hand, is not about that. She's like, I'm going to reserve it for the right guy at the right moment. So 2 very different strategies.
Okay, before we go to Abby, the audience and I just noticed something. When Avin went in for a kiss for Gabby, Gabby was like, oof, like that. She pulled away like a mongoose, girl. She was like, oh. Okay, so let's get to Gabby and Eric. How did that go?
So Eric, I really think Eric might be a front runner here in Gabby's world. They did this little jump off into a lagoon or something, and she was really struggling with it, and then they put a box over her butt because they wanted to make it seem like she was naked, but she wasn't naked, but they were going to keep that box there anyways. Anyways, they jump, they're happy, that's great. They go into the fantasy suite, and there's that.
So things are good with the naked people.
Well, they were good until he starts to unravel. He calls her, he basically says, meet me in the bridge area. And she is like, what's this about? And he goes, well, I'm just struggling because you're like dating all these other guys and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, we talked about this in the fantasy suite. You cannot tell me to not hook up with other guys because this is what I'm here for. And he's like, well, so she's basically telling him, you can't hook up with other guys because you're with me. And she's like, not so fast.
Gabby and Johnny, talk to me about them.
Yeah, Johnny, look, Johnny, he never really had a shot here. But they go on their little date, and she says, do you think you could propose to me in a week? And he goes, no. And she goes, well, that's it. No fantasy suite for you.
What?
Yep.
Kendall and I both are like, I would take him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no fantasy suite for him. He should have just lied.
Finally, Jason and Gabby, are they on the same page?
Not exactly. This is not looking good for Gabby. You know, Eric is unraveling, the other guy is gone, and now this. Take a look at what Jason and Jesse had to say.
I am ready for an engagement, and it's not something that I really planned for, but I've seen myself progress with Jason and Eric. I didn't know that I would get here. I didn't know that I could feel this way in such a short amount of time, but I'm hopeful that I can leave here with someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
So you're at a point right now where you don't feel like you're ready to get engaged again?
Yeah.
Do you think you could get there before this is all over?
Right now, like, I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and I want to be as honest and upfront as I can. I would never want to hide anything from her, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, like, it's hard, like, in 2 weeks, like, it's hard for me to see that. Yeah, it's just, right now, it's hard for me to, like, get to the point of engagement.
It's not going to end well. It is not going to end well.
Ted, Theodore, where's he from? What's that accent?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Ted Johnson working hard in season 8. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
I got to make a note. Don't ask Ted follow-up questions.